Thanks for stopping by the channel. And as you can see, I got on my ugly Christmas sweater. It was ugly Christmas sweater day at school, so we decided to keep it on because it's cold where I'm at. But let's get into this review. We're going to be talking about season 6 of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the reunion part 2. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, let's get into this reunion. So the fight continues between Candace and the Legion of Doom, aka the Light Bright Confederation, mob, horde. So basically, Candace and Mia are going back and forth because in my honest opinion, I don't think Mia could take that statement Candace made about Mia being the reason her mother would relapse. And I agree with Candace. You can't put me saying your mama or your mama is low budget is a reason why your mother would relapse, when I would not be saying that towards you if you would not have brung your mom on here. And like Candace said, your whole entire storyline was about you being in the foster care system, you being working on your relationship with your mom because of her drug addiction. And then at the end of the season, you tried to paint the lady as being unmotherly and not a nice grandmother because she was upset about having to watch your kids an extra day. And you knew you messed up because when we opened up the reunion, you specifically made it a point to say, oh, my mom has my kids and we're going to build her a mother's wing. Because you knew you made your mama look bad. Because this is my thing. I was on Mia's mom's side, because if you tell me to watch your kids from like Sunday to Wednesday, okay, I'm cool because we agreed upon Sunday to Wednesday. But if you leave them kids at my house till Friday, I'm going to have an issue with you because you told me Sunday to Wednesday and you don't know what I got going on. You really don't know what I got going on. So why would you do that? And then because Mia couldn't handle Candace's mouth, because she was like, my mother wanted to show her story. My mother wanted to be an inspiration. And you don't get that because you're a hood rat. And then Candace kept going at her talking about, you don't get to dictate how I respond. So then Mia was like, shut the F up. She won't let me talk. And Candace was like, no, you don't get to tell me how to argue. And then Mia was like, watch her back. And then Candace looked at her, and then I was glad Wendy said, watch her back. Seriously? To reiterate, like, girl, it is not that serious. And then she went to Andy and was like, she's long overdue for an ass whooping, Andy. And she thought she said something there. And I was like, ma'am, no. You just proved that you're not intellectually smart enough or quick enough to go back and forth with her, so you resort to violence. That's just what it is. That's really what it is. And then you had Ascala didn't say much because she just sat down. So I didn't expect much from her anyway because she was just observing the scene because she just sat down. I was happy Wendy said, we all hit below the belt. We all do it. So you can't just hold one person to one standard. And then for Ashley to be like, Candace, well, you do below the belt. Ashley, I'm going to get on to you in a few. And then for Robin worked my nerves, mainly because Robin has been, we're on part 2, dose. Andy has not asked Robin a direct question since the reunion began. But she knows that, and that's why she keeps interjecting into things, because she realized don't nobody give two you-know-whats about her storyline, because it's the same thing every season. Are you and Juan gonna stay together? Are you gonna have a baby with this man? Which you shouldn't, because them bejeweled hats. They didn't even talk about your pandemic blues that you were going through. They never asked you about that. So that should show you what you what role you play in this group. That's why I'm ready for Robin to be demoted. I really am. I'm ready for her. She okay, but she needs to be demoted and just be Giselle's friend, because she brings nothing of value to this show anymore. Because I'm just kind of like, ma'am. And then for Giselle to be like, what Giselle say? Why can't you just take accountability? Giselle, when have you ever taken accountability for the things that you have done to anybody on that couch? When have you ever? You have never, like, we've never seen you really apologize and give a heartfelt apology to Karen. You never really apologize. Like, you be going at Karen's neck. You never apologize to Monique. And I don't even like Lazy Oils. I do not like that lady. But I can look past my dislike of someone and see that there were times where Monique deserved an apology from from Giselle, but she didn't get it, and she deserved one, and she should have gotten one, because there was many of times where Giselle was just harping on this topic or coming at the girl and just being nitpicky. And then Karen, who used to be one of my faves, I can't stand that lady now. Well, I won't say I can't stand her. I will say I just don't like her anymore, because she really disappointed me this reunion and the beginning of, and honestly, she's been disappointing me both parts, because for her to sit there and use the word abuse, and I'm like, what did y'all call what Ashley did to y'all? What did y'all call what Ashley did? Was not what Ashley did from season one all the way to where we're at season 6 abusive? She came at Robin's neck the whole entire, like, she's done some of the most messed up things to people, and I have yet to even hear any of them call Ashley abusive. And then for Karen to keep bringing up the whole, like, you told me to go burn in the pits of eternal hell, and Candace said I did, and like, she lucky that's what Candace, because if I was Candace, I would have told her to go F herself real quick and real fast, because what Karen did reminded me of a coworker that did it, that is just like Karen. Someone who tries to shout, like, cover themselves in this, like, motherly role, but we're on the same level. We both have the same job title, but because you are a lot older than me, you feel the need to police and parent me, so the responses that you get from me, if they really cut you deep, or if I go back at you when we're having a discussion or a disagreement, you now got to run to the boss so you can get me checked, because you know what you're saying to me isn't going to check me, because you hold no weight or no value. That is why Karen went to HR. And when she did that, I looked at her totally different, because that was bogus. Because honestly, y'all were having a disagreement in text message. It wasn't a filmed conversation, and it wasn't y'all having it verbally going out to dinner. Y'all were having a text conversation. So what was the issue? Her texting you burning the pits of eternal hell really hurt your feelings that much? She didn't say it to you. And then the crazy thing to me is, like, y'all just don't like the delivery in which Candace delivers her reads. Like she says, she sticks the landing, and y'all can't handle it, because the fact that you basically said, you know, me and Giselle, this is what Karen said, we throw fun shade, you know, but we never go below the belt. Karen, first episode, you told Giselle that she was a broke down whore from Hampton who had STDs, who was a drug addict and an alcoholic. And then her rebuttal to you was that you're an alcoholic. And that's not below the belt. Saying defamatory things that can really ruin someone's character by saying that they are a whore, a drug addict, and a drunk is not below the belt. What has Candace ever said that was that below the belt, other than calling Michael an overseer, which he is for Ashley, and calling Ashley a bed wench or a filthy milkmaid, which was funny. I don't care what none of y'all said, a wide body. If anything, all of Candace's aggression or her reads be for Ashley, it don't be for none of y'all. And that's why a lot of people feel like this is hypocrisy, because Candace don't never really come for y'all like that. She really doesn't. And none of y'all checked Mia for telling Candace to watch her back, and that she was long overdue for an ass whooping. But all last season, y'all was on Monique's neck. And like I've said, I do not see it for that lady. But that's hypocrisy at its finest. It really is. So then we cut to a commercial, and Candace was like, this is BS. And then then Giselle is like, can you not take accountability? And like I said, when has Giselle ever taken accountability for the things she has done to anybody? And granted, and this is the thing, I used to love Giselle. Like, Giselle was my favorite season 1, and then over the years, she kind of has fallen off, but now she done jumped off the mountain. I don't see it for her. I don't. So it was funny how they're like, Ashley was like, Mia, are you okay? We don't care about that lady. So they come back. Oh, Wendy went to go check on Candace. They come back, and Askala is they pick up with Askala versus Mia. And basically Mia full of it. Mia, like, and I love how Andy gave Mia a pass for being a disaster on Twitter, talking about, it's her first season, whatever. And then Mia gave like this rehearsed apology. I own that I was a disaster and I will do better. You don't mean that, because the next day you were just as much of a disaster. You still are a disaster on the internet, ma'am. What? Girl. And so Mia tried to lie and say that it was her social media manager that was the one writing these tweets, and everybody called her out and was like, so your social media manager be on Twitter at 7 a.m. in the morning going at Askala? Because she really, and you know what, I really think Mia was going at Askala because Askala was easy fruit. Askala was low-hanging fruit in the sense of Askala is one of the first official friends of the show. So her getting into an argument with Mia, or Mia and Askala getting into an argument would not be broadcasted as much, because Askala isn't like a Marlo or who's another friend, or like a Faye. Is it Resnick? I think it's Faye Resnick, which is Kyle's friend of the show, who spice up things, or who is like, they come in, they kick up the dirt, and they bid themselves to do. Like, that is not what Askala is. And so I really think she came at Askala because she felt like it was easy, not understanding that Askala was going to come back at her neck. I think she thought Askala wasn't going to be as direct as she was, because Askala pulled out them, what's it called? The screenshots, and she had them printed, and she basically was like, yeah, she basically was like, you didn't say these things, and then Mia gonna fake try to be like, let me see it, I just got to see. And like Candace said, girl, why are you reading these like you didn't write them? She wrote them. That's why I can't take Mia. If you gonna be a mess or a disaster, own it. Just own it. Like, she doesn't own it. And then when Candace was like, so your social media manager blocked me, and Candace was like, no, Mia was like, oh, you're blocked? Yeah, you did block her. And like Candace said, a social media manager would not block Candace, mainly because most people who have social media managers, like celebrities, they don't block people. That like they're meant to make somebody's news feed and their tweets or whatever wholesome, so they can garner, or be funny to garner a lot of visibility and a lot of engagement. So blocking Candace was stupid on Mia's part, because you're constantly speaking about Candace, but your tweets don't get the same amount of engagement as Candace tweets does, because Candace gets hates tweets and then she gets love tweets, which are way more than what you have ever gotten since you've been on this show. So then they kick Askala off, which I felt like I agree with Mia when she said, so y'all only brought her up here for those 2 minutes, which is true. Like, she should have been sitting on the couch the whole entire season, because she was there at almost every event. So why not have her sitting up there? That to me was stupid. But I'm hoping she gets a flute, because she does add to the cast, in my opinion. So then Giselle and Karen have some fake sisterhood of traveling pants moment, where like Giselle attempts to fake muster a tear, and they console each other. And that's honestly why I think that to me makes me realize that there is some type of pact or alliance that the Legion of Doom has. Because for them to be harping so much on yeah, for them to be harping so much on Karen saying that Giselle wished death upon Ray, and then for Giselle to be like, well, you attacked my family. What the hell, ma'am? Like, for real, what the hell? Like, why was it so easy for y'all to like apologize to each other and hug each other and move on for that, just because Karen showed a gesture of like kindness towards your daughters? And it was like, okay, she hugged them. Like I have hugged many adults I did not like as a child just because I had manners and that is what I was taught to do. Like you still be respectful to adults, even if you are a child and you don't mess with them. So and Karen is not gonna be just nasty to them. Then Giselle brings up this whole thing about Wendy giving Grace an ugly look, and I don't really think Wendy gave Grace an ugly look. I think she probably just looked at her and like we really can't tell what was going on because it was just a very frank look. But I'm glad Wendy apologized and they moved on from it because I'm like, if she did, she gave the girl an ugly look and what? She don't like you, so she probably don't like your kids. Whose fault is that really? Yours. For spreading rumors, for trying to spread a rumor about her family. So she got every right not to like your family if she don't. But Wendy did the mature thing and she apologized, which kudos for Wendy. So then we get to the Ashley versus Candace thing. And this is when I really, like, this cemented for me was when the Legion of Doom or the Light Bright Federation was reprimanding Candace at the beginning of the episode, and then that was point one where I was like, okay, something about this is funny. Then when Karen and Giselle hugged and was like, and then this part where they were trying to get Candace to understand that Ashley writing a derogatory or derogatory letter to aid Monique was not meant to be hurtful towards Candace. That is a bunch of bull. That is bullshit. I'm gonna feed in this video.
She wrote this statement kind of as revenge towards Candace.
I didn't use the word revenge.
Well, you said now you're even. Ooh, damn, you said that?
Video where this girl legit was like, and that's the thing. I will say, I will give all the people, especially what are their names? Niecy, I think it's Niecy TV, I think. Or Niecy, y'all know I put people's names down because I'm really bad with names. Niecy, I think Contrary said it, and I also think Scotty said it. Where Scotty said, well, all three of them on their channels were saying that the Green Eye Bandits were only co-signing Candace and like trying to like protect Candace was because they did not like Monique. And this scene really showed that because there's a clip going around, and like I said, I'm gonna feed it in for you guys, where Candace, like where they busted Ashley wide open to tell Candace that Ashley wrote Ashley wrote a defamating, I don't think that's how you use the word. Ashley wrote like a character assassination letter against Candace to aid Monique. And when they checked Ashley about it, Ashley was like, well, I didn't do it for revenge. And then Robin was like, well, you said you did it for revenge. And Ashley was like, no. And then Giselle chimed in and was like, well, you said in the conversation, well, now we're even. That's why somebody would be like, yes, you did do that to hurt her. And just own it, Ashley. You don't like Candace. Even in that Real Housewives book, Ashley still is saying that like Candace crossed the line when she attacked my motherhood. She really didn't attack your motherhood. She just said for someone who said she wanted to be pregnant, you've been drinking a whole bunch of Coronas. And then not a lot of people believed you, Michael, crying about the miscarriage you had. In all honesty, I didn't believe it. A group, because Michael did not want you to be pregnant. He did not want you to be pregnant. He adamantly told you he did not want to have other kids because he had grown kids of his own. So what do you like? So like for Candace to be like, she was like, Candace is always coming at me. I would always come at, my foot would be always on the gas when I see you. Always, because at the end of the day, you tried to ruin my case against someone who physically put their hands on me. Let's call a thing a thing. That is what you did. And then y'all constantly bring up the butter knife situation. And it's like, the butter knife didn't hit her. And on top of that, Ashley walked back into this woman's house, not one, not two, but 3 times after she was told to get out. And if this was not reality TV and this was legit, like this was real life, in real life, Candace had every right to like throat check Ashley and elbow her in her big headed ass head for her being in her house after she told her to leave 3 times. But because it's reality TV, we all get a chuckle and a giggle out of it, and we bring it up all the time. And the fact that Ashley can constantly bring up the butter knife situation, but when Candace brought up Robin getting in Ashley's face, oh, that's old news. That's the hypocrisy and the colorism that people are talking about, bro. Colorism is not blatant. I've experienced colorism. It's not blatant. It's a shift in someone's personality or disorder when you come around, when you have not done anything to them, or it's when you can omit somebody of a lighter or white skin tone of something that they have done which is harmful, but the person who is darker that retaliates to it, they're the issue because they're retaliating to mistreatment. And they should just take it. Like, honestly, Giselle has this whole cast set up like a sorority now. I honestly think that's why they like Mia. Because Mia falls in line. Mia is falling in line. Like, she attached herself to Karen. And she was way fast. Like, she was quick to apologize to Robin and Giselle when she sent them that rude text message. And once she like kissed the ring or groveled at their feet, they were like, oh, she can be one of us now. Candace has never kissed the ring and she has never groveled at their feet. Wendy has never kissed the ring and never groveled at their feet. And that's why they don't like them like that. And even if you don't want to do the colorism thing, it's very Mean Girl-esque where it's like, you need to do and accept the hazing treatment that we give you in order for you to be a part of this group and maintain and be in this group. And then for them to ask for that whole colorism thing to pop up, Ashley has done horrible things to almost everybody. Ascala is new, so we can push Ascala to the side. When it comes to Mia, she basically said Mia's vagina got pounded to smithereens, and that's why she needed to get her coochie fixed. And also, she basically said the Alzheimer's comment towards Mia and G when G was being a weirdo. But that's not below the belt. When it came to Wendy, she used very dog whistle words by saying Wendy was ferocious. The only time people use ferocious is when it pertains to animals. So why are you using the term ferocious as it pertains to Wendy? When y'all were having the same conversation, and that's why Wendy corrected you and said, I was passionate. Because using the term ferocious is a very gaslighting, and it's a loaded word. With Giselle, she ain't really done much with Giselle other than she questions Giselle about Jamal. And the only reason why Giselle and what's her name and Ashley get along is because they see each other and they can see themselves in each other. Basically, Ashley is constantly getting cheated on by her crypt keeper husband, and Giselle got dogged out by her man. So they relate. It's a sad thing to relate upon, but that's what they relate upon. Then you had Robin. She terrorized Robin for almost 4 seasons about being poor and about wine slinging his you know what to everybody except Robin. Then Karen, she was along with Karen. Well, she went along with Giselle and Robin to mock Karen about her taxes situation, knowing that lady was dealing with a lot when it came to her parents being sick. And then they also had that argument with Ray. So what are y'all talking about Candace going below the belt? And then she constantly, and when y'all bring up body shaming, okay, she called Ashley wide. Ashley is wide. And Ashley calls Candace hamster face every chance she gets. And then the overseer and bad wench comment, girl, Michael treats you like that. Like, let's call a thing a thing. And then did y'all not notice Ashley did not say she was black? She said, I'm a biracial woman, which I have no issue with because that is what she is. But she was very like, I'm as a biracial woman, because I guarantee you, had she said she was black, Michael probably would have gotten her ass about that. Because it don't seem like that man like black people. He don't like Candace. He called Candace a criminal. And she calls Michael white trash. So what's up? Like, what is it, bro? What is it? Like, on some real. And then I love how Wendy caught that bobbleheaded heifer in a like, she got Wendy. You got Ashley, especially when you told Ashley, when you questioned Ashley, they asked Ashley about colorism, and Ashley says she said as a, what's it called? As a mixed woman or a biracial woman, I do understand that there is white privilege and mixed privilege, but that's not what's going on in this group. And then, but she says she knows it exists. And then Wendy said, so you know colorism exists, but you just think this group basically is omitted from colorism. I said, get her. Because I was like, you sound dumb, Ashley. You sound dumb. So then we switch over to Wendy and Giselle. Not much. They were just rehashing the same old. But I will say, I don't know if I'm going to take it back, or am I doubling down on my comment? Okay, if you watch my other reviews, you know I was over Wendy and the whole rumor thing, because I did agree with Giselle saying that it wasn't true, that she brung, like, you know, that the rumor wasn't true, but it was still wrong for Giselle to bring it up, and I felt like Wendy was just dragging it out. But when Wendy said on the reunion, when she was like, on that blog, like, you know, that video, because all they do on there is lie. She was like, hundreds of people saw it, and not thousands of people saw that. Thousands of people saw it. A lot of people were doing YouTube videos on it because they got the information from that blog. And Wendy was like, but you brung it here on a show that gets millions of views. So you intensified and gave the rumor more legs. So I was like, okay, I can understand where Wendy is coming from. I don't know. Like, when I was reviewing while I was watching the show, she did really annoy me because I felt like she was dragging it out. But I do feel like with the reunion, she explained herself in a great way, where she was like, you gave a rumor legs. We all say this blog site or this YouTube channel is, all they do is lie. Why would you bring it on here? And she had a point. Why would you bring it on here? And then I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I cackled when Wendy went back at Giselle and said, you said I got my body done to keep my husband. That's rooted in misogyny, which is true. But she said, but you got a tummy tuck. Did you keep Jamal? I said, this needs to be the last season where people use Jamal as a read on Giselle, because it's tired at this point. He's not a part of the show, and it's low-hanging fruit, and it's an easy dig. But I cannot lie, I cackled. And I said, ooh. And I laughed more because Giselle was like, and then everybody's face was like, ooh. And I said, ooh. She got you there. The truth is, Giselle, for them to be like Giselle's, like, that Wendy's reads are rehearsed. Honestly, Giselle reads are rehearsed, because Giselle will read you in her confessionals, but she has never brought it on reunions. Because she's not that quick with it. And that's why they don't like going up against Candace or, what's her name? Or Wendy, because they're faster than them. I just don't know. Honestly, they are turning Real Housewives of Potomac into the light-skinned sorority, the Legion of Doom. They really are, or the Light Bright Federation. Because for all of them, except for Wendy, maybe Escala, and definitely Candace, you got Mia, Karen, Robin, Giselle, and Ashley. So it's basically like 5 against, honestly, 2, because I'll move Escala to the side. Honestly, it's 5 against 2. And I really think they want the franchise to look like what it was the first season, where it was like only one dark, like, well, I don't consider Sharice dark skin. I think me and Sharice are like the same complexion, and everyone says I'm brown skin. But I really think that's what it is. I think they wanted to go back to, honestly, you know what I really think they want? If they could get rid of Candace and Wendy and just have a Scala, they would be fine with that, because a Scala is, she's direct, but she's not as direct, or her reads don't hit you that hard like when Wendy and Kansas do it. They just want somebody easy that they can pick on and bully, in my opinion. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. You know, do you agree? Do you disagree with my opinion? Just drop down in the comments below and let me know what's up. Bye.